This is the Almost Daily Zencast. Hello, and namaste. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. I am your humble host, the incorrigible Mr. Zeppo. Let's get started. Hello and namaste. Thank you for tuning in. To kick off Season 2 of the Almost Daily Zencast, I wanted to feature one of the, quote, lost recordings from earlier in Season 1, part of a collection of recordings that I thought I had lost and just recently kind of rediscovered. I hope you enjoy If Mother Earth Could Speak Through One of Us. Call me crazy. Wouldn't be the first time. But I feel compelled to say that, and I'm not making any claims here, this is just my opinion, man. But if I could be so bold, if Mother Nature could speak through us, at ourselves, at our species, like take possession and utilize one of us as mouthpiece, what do you think she would have that individual or individuals say? I'm not a betting man, mostly because I don't believe in money and its economics. But if I were to be a betting man, I think I'd put my money on some sort of strict, maternal, loving, compassionate, forgiving monologue about how we're fuck-ups in life, way off the mark. Need to stop arguing and killing each other. We need to sit down, shut up, be still and silent, so that we can know, like the Gnostics were talking about, gnosis. If you don't know what that is, go look it up for Christ's sake. Literally, for Christos' sake, go look it up. And yeah, with perhaps a plea to stop ripping up her lungs and ruining her communities of life, with a bit of strict but gentle reminder that we are one in this web of life manifesting in form, and that us as talking people meat sacks are not any better than any of the other beautiful things that exist in this realm. As a species, though, we've really dug ourselves into
one clusterfuck of failure, where more people, more individuals believe in ideological constructs like economics or manifest destiny or free market, consumerist, infinite growth, then they can tolerate even contemplating the living womb that we're ripping up to commodify and profiteer on. Sell each other shitty products that we made out of our mother's bones. She would scold us for our false moralities and for our mindless war games. She'd smack us around a bit, the way a mother does when a child is just on the verge of madness and unwilling to stop. And then she would hold us as we wept our angry tears of remorse. She will calm us down until we realize that we've been bashing our fucking faces against a brick wall for centuries, and we need not continue anymore. I imagine that she would say something along those lines. And perhaps, my dear listener, perhaps it is you, whoever you are, perhaps it is you that she is whispering to, begging, pleading, that you hear her, and that you may speak her message to the world, so that we may stop breaking ourselves against our own stupidity and willful ignorance and neglecting of our own organic birthright and responsibilities that come with that. I think she would want us to confront ourselves as a collective, as a family, as a member of a much larger, much more complicated family, a web of life, which we've slowly been destroying. I think she would want us to take responsibility for our actions, present, past, and future. Learn to correct our behavior and return to our organic spiritual calling, which is to participate in gnosis and beyond, to participate in the transformative evolution of the cosmic entity itself as members of it, as opposed to this tantrum we've been throwing, this ego breakdown, this willing suspension of comprehension of just how horribly we treat ourselves and each other and this earth, which is not a place but the very womb that gives birth to us, and how that is damaging us all and causing us to suffer, all of us, and that we can transform and elevate ourselves beyond this meat grinder merry-go-round that we've been stuck on for so long we've grown addicted to it. I don't claim to be anything other than a particular and eccentric human being that is deeply invested in the exploration of that which is, as opposed to the ideology about it. When we are born into the world, there is no end to the awe and inspiration and wonder that we are capable of, in part because we are free in our early years from this burden of the ego hijacking our individuation. Mother Nature loves us like the quintessential image of mother-loving child in the moments after this epic moment of childbirth. We have been neglecting our mother's love, our mother's pleas, our mother's kindness, and our mother's guidance for much too long, my friends. I'm not saying let's tear down society and run to the hills and live off the land like our ancestors. I'm saying let's sort things out and begin by debunking all that which contradicts mother, and that requires a much more difficult revolution than the fiery conflict many are salivating for. If I were a betting man, and if Mother Nature could speak through one of us as champion for her cause here in our world that we've created, it would most certainly include the admonition for neglecting our most important job in spiritual multidimensional terms, which is the evolutionary practice of meditation. I feel quite certain that she is begging us to return to that practice. Whether you have practiced all your life and find yourself ambivalent or stuck, or however you describe your lapse, whether you've never thought of meditating once in your entire life, just imagine if it were you, that Mother Nature came to you and said, hey, it just so happens that meditating as a practice is really important, not just to you in your individual life as an individuated being, but to your family as your network around you, species-wide, and for the world, and mind-blowingly enough, for the entirety of the cosmos. It just so happens that it's one of the central callings that's most important to fulfill for the cosmos, the living cosmos itself, to advance through its progression, as unimaginable, whatever that progression may be. Meditation at any level of involvement or being or individuation in the living cosmos is essential. Its participation is not so much mandatory because of some declaration by some authority figure, real or imaginary, but because it is organically the right and true thing that must be done. The way breathing is essential. We take it for granted beyond belief that we've had to create special courses for ourselves on how to breathe during important moments like the crisis of childbirthing or during panic attacks, during meditation. The whole cosmos is yearning for us to come back to the practice and to participate in the elevation, the advancement towards enlightenment of all beings. If you want to truly awaken, you must first understand that there is one consciousness manifesting the entirety of what you call reality, and that to awaken, you must engage in the collaborative and collective process of lifting each other up towards ascension, liberation of one's true self from the mind cage we have constructed for ourselves in this individuated life. Here, in this reality, in this timeline, in this dimension, on this planetoid we call Earth, on this womb that gives birth to us, now we must meditate. And I don't mean to dictate that we must follow this or that religion or that particular flavor or brand of Buddhism or any ism. Meditation is an organic practice as natural to you as breathing, as drinking water, as seeing. You just don't realize it. What I'm suggesting is that we must all engage in the self-discovery of meditation. Take all the current meditation literature and turn it on its head by realizing the strict forms are just strict forms because people like to generate forms, and some run towards strict as the preferred model. But meditation is like breathing. Meditation is breathing. Meditation is a function of your mind, body, soul collective that happens. That those components of you that you do not control with your sentence building mind understand how to do better than your sentence building mind could ever narrate. Let us all become scientists of meditation. Let great works of scientific research into meditation begin. Let a golden era of experimentation in meditation lead us into a dynamic transformation of not only this culture or that culture, but the species as a whole family. Om Shani Metta Shanti Om. Namaste. Sat Nam.
Thanks again for tuning in. This has been a lost episode of the Almost Daily Zencast to kick off Season 2. Stay tuned, there's a lot more coming. And that is what I've got to say about that. As always, thank you kindly for listening. This has been the Almost Daily Zencast with your humble host, the incorrigible Mr. Zappa. Until next time, may peace, love, and grooviness blossom in your heart.